What should you know about leasing a place to live? Please watch this episode of Aspire to Money to learn more. There are other important items to consider when leasing. First, the security deposit. The lease should spell out the amount of the security deposit and the conditions under which the landlord will return that money to the tenant. Most states also have laws regulating security deposits. The laws address how much a landlord can charge for a security deposit. It is common for a tenant to have to pay the first month's rent and the last month's rent before being allowed to occupy the leased property. The last month's rent in advance is sometimes deemed a security deposit, or an additional security deposit may be required. State law also specifies other matters, such as whether the security deposit can be applied to cleaning the unit at the end of the lease. Landlords and tenants often disagree about treatment of security deposits. As a tenant, you should try to protect yourself. Take photos of the property with the rental agent before you move anything into the unit. Clean the unit thoroughly at the end of your lease. In fact, it may be a good idea to have a professional cleaning done, including steaming of the carpets. Keep written records of this cleaning. In many states, there are small claims courts for disputes involving amounts of money under $5,000. The dockets of small claims courts are often filled with disputes involving security deposits. These disputes often devolve into he said, she said assertions with no evidence from either side. I've heard these devolve into sometimes bizarre discussions with the judge. Landlord: the carpet stunk of dead fish. Tenant: well, the aquarium did overturn during an earthquake. We weren't home, and the fish were on the carpet a couple days. To protect yourself, make sure you as a tenant behave in a good fashion and keep evidence. Also, check out any prospective landlord online through services such as Yelp, or in real life through recommendations from acquaintances. If the landlord has bad word of mouth, then stay away. Our second topic is another area where there can be issues between the landlord and the tenant. That is repairs and maintenance. Under most state and local laws, a landlord must offer and maintain rental property that satisfies habitability requirements specified in those laws. Some examples are the following. 1. Clean, sanitary, structurally safe property. 2. Operational heat, water, and electricity. 3. Basic weatherproofing. 4. Smoke detectors. 5. Minimum light, ventilation, and wiring. 6. Working locks and keys. But what if the landlord does not comply with the legal requirements for repair and maintenance? Your options vary by state, so be sure to consult with an expert. Depending on the state, you may be able to 1. Pay less rent. 2. Withhold all of the rent until repair is made. 3. Hire someone to make the repairs and deduct the cost from the rent. 4. Contact the local building inspection department, which can often order the landlord to make repairs. 5. Legally break the lease and move out without owing rent for the remainder of the lease period. And/or 6. Sue for partial refund of rent, as well as other damages based on emotional distress or physical discomfort. But watch out. As a tenant, you should be very careful. Make certain that your state's laws permit these actions before you take them, or you may be deemed to be in breach of the lease and liable for the rent, security deposit, and additional monies.